So I want to cover this because it encapsulates every problem that we have in government right now. This is how your government spends your money. And it doesn't matter if if it's the federal government, the local government, or your state government. This is it. Every single time, every program, every initiative, this is what happens. This is coming to us from Judicial Watch, because no one is above the law. Obama program to help struggling homeowners blows millions on parties, cars, booze, luxury travel. This was written on May 3rd, 2019, and I'm not seeing an author, but Judicial Watch is pretty credible, so let's get into this. Years after a scathing federal audit exposed rampant waste in a multi-billion-dollar government program to help the unemployed or underemployed pay their mortgage, the gouging continues full throttle. Public officials who operate the disastrous project known as Hardest Hit Fund, HHF, have wasted millions of dollars on parties, fancy cars, gifts, extravagant dinners and receptions, gym memberships, and luxury travels. Previous investigations have uncovered more than $11 million in wasteful spending at HHF for illegal things such as employee bonuses, lavish shindigs, expensive vehicles, and superfluous data storage. I did say that right. The latest enraging figures are documented in a lengthy report to Congress that outlines how HHF continues fleecing American taxpayers. Obama launched the scandal-plagued program in 2010 to help struggling families negatively impacted by the housing crisis, and it operates under the Treasury Department, which does little to oversee it and sits by as federal probes unmask pervasive fraud and corruption. The former commander-in-chief asserted that homeowners in regions with high unemployment needed the government's help to make their mortgage payment and prevent foreclosure. The government has contributed an astounding $9.6 billion to the cause, and the money will be available until the end of 2021. In the Obama administration's last year, the fund got an additional $2 billion to assist struggling homeowners and communities. While the housing market has strengthened in recent years, there are many homeowners and neighborhoods experiencing the negative effects of the financial crisis, said the Treasury's Deputy Assistant Secretary of Financial Stability when the money was doled out, assuring that the funds would help stabilize local communities and help struggling families avoid foreclosure. And as someone who's from and lives in New Jersey, that's complete BS. I mean, but this is what happens. This is what happens every single time. This is why the charities are completely pointless. This is why the programs and the initiatives are completely pointless, because it's all down to the bureaucracy. When I was doing my advocacy with Irvington's Neighborhood Improvement Corporation, the lady who gets the grants, we were talking and we were discussing, a $1 billion initiative that the president was launching. And she informed me that by the time the money was doled out, programs such as hers would get about $50,000 out of $1 billion. And the main reason being is because of all the bureaucracy. Most of that money would go to, buildings, leasing places, paying rents, and paying salaries for the bureaucrats to, dole out the funds. And this happens with each and every new program. Like a lot of government programs during Obama's tenure, this one ballooned and kept receiving boatloads of cash with virtually no oversight. It started off as a $1.5 billion initiative focused on the 5 states with the steepest declines in home prices, and grew to a $9.6 billion boondoggle encompassing 19 states in the District of Columbia. The money goes to mortgage payment assistance for unemployed or underemployed homeowners, principal reduction to help homeowners get into more affordable mortgages, and blight elimination and down payment assistance efforts. California has received the biggest chunk of money, $2.3 billion, followed by Florida, $1.1 billion, Ohio, $762 million, Michigan, $761 million, and North Carolina, $707 million. Nevada, which is notorious for mismanaging HHF funds, has received north of $220 million. Wow, Jersey didn't even make the cut. The Silver State is prominently featured in the last 2 corruption probes, including the most recent one conducted by the Inspector General of another reckless Treasury gem, the Troubled Asset Relief Program, TARP. Obama's catastrophic initiative to rescue the nation's ailing financial institutions. In its quarterly report to Congress, the Special Inspector General for the for SIGTARP, that's just what we're going to call it, reveals that Nevada's HHF wasted $8.2 million on parties, a Mercedes-Benz, and more. The state also blew HHF funds on gift cards for employees, bar tabs, flowers, cash bonuses, and employee picnics. Georgia mismanaged $18.6 million in HHF funds on similar things. The watchdog found, and other states did the same. This includes in prohibited travel, luxury hotels, extravagant dinners and receptions, as well as networking events with gifts, a carving station with a uniform chef, and a dessert station of cake bites and strawberry shortcake martinis. Wasted dollars harm taxpayers who fund TARP and consumers intended to receive those dollars. The watchdog writes. On a positive note, criminal bribery charges were filed against multiple public officials handling HHF money, according to the Treasury watchdog, though it won't stop the cash from flowing into the famously crooked program's bloated coffers. Among them are an unnamed city official, land bank official, and a contractor in Michigan and Ohio. This is SIGTARP's third audit finding waste and unnecessary charges in the HHF. The latest report states previous SIGTARP audits uncovered more than $11 million in waste and other unnecessary expenses. When will the madness stop? And really, all that, after all that, all those numbers, all that money, and we still have foreclosures taking place darn near every day. And it's sad. It really is. Because it's just insane waste. It's why things are so expensive. It's why and how, we get to, because it's all corruption. It's all about who can stuff the money in their pockets. I mean, that's the thing about it, particularly federal. Like the further out the more the program is, the initiative, the more hands it has to funnel through. Like if a municipality does a program or initiative, okay, then boom, they have to deal with their programs. But if the state decides to do an initiative, then the state has to go through state hands, then it has to go through municipal hands, then it goes down to the programs. If the federals get it, federal, state, you see what I'm saying? And so you'll end up with just millions. I mean, you were seeing these numbers, 11 million, 8.9 million. Let's get back to these numbers down here right quick. Yeah, 172 million, 2.3 billion. California, Florida, 1.1 billion, Ohio, 762 million. I mean, my God. And this is monopoly money, but that's that level. And until, regular folks realize that this stuff really does affect us, we try to pretend as if these circumstances don't go into why the taxes get raised and why circumstances or insurers have to raise their rates and premiums. This is ridiculous. It really is. And it saddens me that this happened under Obama. But that's one of the main reasons to remember that, no matter who sits in any one given seat when it comes to, elected officials like the president or your governor or your mayor, they are just the head of a corporation, of a gigantic onslaught or a gigantic mechanism, which is our government. And so the people that are working underneath them have likely been there for generations and decades. So it's one of the reasons why it's so interesting to me to watch people completely lose their crap when it comes to Trump, because it's like, he really doesn't have that much of a say over your regular day-to-day life. Your municipal elected officials, they have way more of a say over your regular day-to-day. But that's not what's sexy, right? So with that being said, thanks so much for watching. Please, all the internet stuff, like if you liked it, sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice, share, because seriously, this is just ridiculous government waste and corruption. And speak. I mean, do you disagree? Or do you want to try to defend this? I encourage it. I really do. With that being said, until the next one.